All right, guys, here we go. The 2023 OMRA Bob Lanphere GP and Tillamook State Forest, Browns Camp. Only 5 guys in my class. Off to a 3rd place start right off the bat. Just about go down over that route right there. Definitely go down right there. Not the way I usually like to start my day. And this was kind of unfortunate, as it definitely, I wouldn't say it ruined my day, but it definitely didn't put me off to a great start. So front end of the bike's a little bent up here, and I'm a little banged up. Not too bad, but definitely rattled right now. Front brake doesn't seem to be working. Lever's pulling almost all the way down to the bar, and that didn't exactly exude any confidence in the bike at this point. Trying to learn to ride with a twisted up front end. Been a while since I've had to do that, so a little frustrated with myself, of course. That was definitely an unforced error. That being said, I've never ridden up here. I'm pretty excited about being here. You know, I think we've all heard of Browns Camp and all the good riding up at the Tillamook State Forest area. So, letting the fast guys from the row behind me go. I'm not really pushing in any way at all right now. I'm just trying to get a feel for the bike and see if I have enough brakes to make this work or not. Like I said, I was a little rattled here trying to figure out what I was doing. Obviously, I'm still out there. I feel fine. I'm not really hurt at this point, and just going to try to keep pushing forwards. So the ground out here is a mix of really kind of some hard packed dirt with a lot of, I don't know, golf ball sized rock on it. Made it pretty unpredictable as far as handling and traction in general. When there were no rocks, there was a lot of rear wheel traction. The bike would pull really good out of the corners. But of course, this is the first lap. Making more mistakes there, but this is the first lap, so I'm not really sure where the rocks are at and where they're not at. They're pretty much everywhere. This is double track here, but it's still, I don't know, a little bit technical with the rocks, and there's roots all over the place around every corner, so you didn't really know what to expect. Again, I'm not racing with these guys, so there's no point to slow them down at all. Obviously, my day hasn't started out well, so we're just going to make the best of it. And that's kind of what I'm deciding here is like, well, we're up here, we're riding in a new riding area. Let's just go have some fun with this. Try to stay out of everybody's way and, you know, try to find some kind of flow and salvage the day here anyhow. And it was nice. You can see that there's still some moisture in the dirt up here, which was a definite plus. But you could tell there's also quite a bit of dust. And once you got into that dust, especially on the first lap, you just didn't know what was around the next turn. So you had to be very cautious about where the rocks were and the roots. Definitely didn't want to make, you know, any more mistakes, especially any mistakes that going to cost me, you know, hitting the ground or anything, because that's no fun. We've already proven that. yeah, you get into this dust, and it was, I don't know, it was the first dust race of the year, really. So trying to get used to that again. My pace is definitely off. I think the gentleman that won the race in my class, anyhow, his lap times were every bit of 3 minutes a lap faster than mine. So still bringing my B class speed to the A class. Got to work on that. By the second and third laps, I actually felt like my lap times were getting better, because I thought the course kind of came around, and I thought that I had adjusted to the bike and felt like I was riding pretty well, but the lap times didn't show that. Actually, they were really consistent in that 26-minute mark until the fourth lap. I dropped into the 27s, but I don't know, not really where I need to be. But I mean, you know, I'll take it. It was fun. It was a good experience. A little banged up today for sure. This is the day after, and definitely got a cracked rib, and my left knee's a little banged up, but I'll be fine. It's all good. Comes with the territory. And it was kind of tough, because you could catch, well, I didn't really catch many people, but you could catch guys in the sections that weren't too dusty, but as soon as you got into the dust, especially on the single track, which you haven't seen any of that yet, but it was really tough to follow anybody in a single track when it was dusty, because you just couldn't tell where the course was going. And there wasn't a lot of room for error on some of that single track. I mean, I know guys do it. I mean, obviously guys are going way faster than I am, and I just have to figure it out. Comfort level, I guess. Catching up to the rider in front of me, and he is in my class. I think he was feeling just about as uncomfortable with the golf balls on the course as I was, so he's not pushing too hard. Lets me go by here, which I don't know, gave me a position, I guess. Obviously at this point that's really not what I'm focused on. I'm just focused on trying not to crash again, because again, that's not any fun. So quick plan here on the video, probably just going to show this first lap, and maybe I'll show a highlight video. It depends on how much work I want to put into it and how long this one takes to upload, so we'll figure it out and go from there. Beautiful area to ride, really popular. A lot of people up here this weekend, not necessarily racing, but just out riding. So a quick congratulations and thank you to the Mount Scott Motorcycle Club for doing a good job keeping non-racers off of the race course. That had to be kind of a job all on its own, right? I mean, there were a lot of people up here riding dirt bikes, quads, and side-by-sides. So to keep them off the course, that was awesome. I didn't hear of any incidents of anybody ending up on course where they didn't belong, and that was good, because the last thing you want to do is come around and find somebody going the wrong way on the trail that, you know, doesn't belong there. So big shout out to them for helping keep us racers safe, as safe as you can be when you're trying to go fast in this stuff. So this single track here was actually really fun. It wasn't fun with a twisted up front end. You know, it just took me a little bit to kind of learn it. And I make another mistake here. That was awesome. But anyhow, it was pretty fun. like I said, there's not a lot of room for air here. If you go off of this stuff, you're gonna have to get yourself back up the hill, like I kind of did there. I'm telling myself here just to calm down. It's like you're not gonna catch any of the guys in front of you. They're faster than you, regardless of whether you crash or not. So just come out and try to ride your own race and not make any more mistakes. Find some sort of flow. Course was fun overall. I thought it was really good. You know, once I kind of figured out how hard I could push or whatnot. It always takes me a little bit to get comfortable. I just not really good right off the drop of the flag there, but did that a couple times today too. You can tell I'm frustrated. I really try hard not to use any bad language in my videos, but occasionally it sneaks in there. So I'll apologize for that right now. Yeah, back to the course. It was really fun. This section of single track here had a bunch of knee slappers in it. You know, just a lot of stuff overgrown. I think this is all fresh cut trail. I'm not sure, but it doesn't look like it's got a lot of laps on it for sure. And good moisture. The dirt was actually pretty good in a lot of sections. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. And like I said, at this point I've kind of just decided to try to treat this day as a ride day. Just go out and have some fun, riding in a new place with a bunch of different dudes, having some fun. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was a combination of not trusting the front brake. It really hadn't come around much. And so I was using more rear brake than I typically would to help slow myself down. Yeah, still just trying to adjust to the bike. And, you know, the front brake lever's pointed down a little bit. I couldn't quite get her slapped up there. My brace obviously broke, and that was my fault more than anything. These things are rock solid. Mobius makes a great brace, but the strings on it were frayed, and I've had this thing for probably 4 years, I'd say. This is the original one that I bought years ago, and I had a kit to replace all that stuff, and I just hadn't done it. So that one's on me for sure. First lap I always, you know, tend to take a little more cautious anyways, just to try to learn the course a little bit, and I definitely needed to do that here. Back on some single track. This more good single track for sure. Definitely fun to ride. Maybe not awesome to have this much single track in the racing, because it's definitely tough to pass. Not that I needed to pass anybody, but even when you're getting lapped by the pros, it's tough to let these guys go on this stuff. There's no real good spot to pull over for them. Luckily, when I did get lapped, I think that it was in a pretty good position to where I didn't have to slow anybody down. Because you never want to be that guy, right? Yeah, when you got into the dust on this stuff, it made it difficult. And you'd really have to, if you were behind someone, I personally would have to kind of fall back a little bit. Give them some room to make sure that I didn't end up off course. More mistakes, but that stuff happens. Recover from it fairly well. And this is the route section that I was forewarned about. It's kind of funny, I thought that I'd already passed this section because I went through several sections of routes that were, I don't know, kind of tricky, I guess. That was a little uphill there that I think some other classes had some trouble with people getting hung up in. And in the dust, I couldn't really see it, so I just kind of hit it the best I could. I didn't have any trouble with it all day. Once I knew it was there, I, kind of knew just there's a couple, 2 or 3 routes there, and you just kind of stayed on the gas and you were fine. Not sure what was going on here. I couldn't quite see that the trail crossed the road there, and I thought he stopped because he wasn't sure which way to go, so I stopped behind him because I wasn't sure which way to go, and then the women's pro came up behind us, and she knew where to go, so we just all followed her. And this girl was fast. I thought, oh, maybe I can fall in behind her, and maybe she can, pull me through, but she dropped me so fast, it was crazy. Kudos to you. This guy down here, I'm not sure what happened exactly. It sounded like possibly a broken arm, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. That's just what I heard when I got back after the race. Hopefully he's okay and able to come back and race with us, and as soon as he gets healed up. And yeah, I probably should touch on, I probably should have stopped there. I just caught a glimpse out of him in the dust as I was going by, and yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have checked on him for sure, just to make sure he was okay. I know he wasn't there on the next lap, so obviously he got taken care of, however that happened. Catch up to this guy. I felt like I think this was the guy I kind of battled with off and on throughout the day, and he was definitely faster than me. I don't know how I would ever catch him. I don't know if he would get caught up in somebody else's dust and slow down some, but he'd always, I think he'd let me by once or twice, and then I'd let him right back by because he was definitely faster than I was. But it's kind of funny that we kept running into each other out here. I think at this point I'm finally getting a little more comfortable on my twisted up bike, and like I said, just trying to ride and have some fun, and we're out here to have fun, keep smiling. It's not always about where you place and any of that. I don't have much chance of getting into the top 5 with these guys, the top 5 in this class. Really, the top 5, 6, 7 guys are really fast, so You know, I'm just trying to figure it out. I definitely feel like I'm a little intimidated when I get on the starting line. It's like every time I get up there, I'm like, I don't know if I'm in the right class or not. But I mean, I don't know. I'd rather be the slowest guy in the A class than the fastest guy in the B class, I guess. I don't know. I guess the thing about riding A class, moving up this year, you just don't want to be the guy that's, you know, everybody's looking at like, why is that guy riding the A class? Because sometimes, well, most of the time I wonder that myself, but just trying to get better, guys. Unfortunately, it's not even just a fitness thing. I wish I could say, man, if I was just fitter, but it's really not. It's an overall speed thing. I'm just not as fast as these guys. They're just, these guys are moving, man. Yeah, see, he pulls over for me there. And then I end up letting him by right up here because he definitely had more speed in this double track than I did. Almost like neither one of us wanted to be the leader. Especially on this first lap when we're still kind of learning the course. And just like that, he's gone. But yeah, it's funny. I ran into him kind of the same scenario several times out on the course. At least I think it was him. I mean, after a while, everybody kind of looks the same, but I'm pretty sure it was him. But it's funny, sometimes I need to see, you know, I kind of need to see how fast you can actually go on this stuff before I feel like I should be going faster. I don't know. Kind of weird, I guess. I can't explain it. Especially after a crash, I'm just, confidence is definitely rattled a little bit. Yeah, look how good that dirt looks, other than all the rocks. But I think all the rocks kind of got pushed off by the morning classes. So there was one really good line through most all the double track. And as long as you stayed on that line, you were in a pretty good spot. But if you ventured off of it very far, you'd end up in all those golf balls, and that's where you get yourself into trouble. But anyhow, other than the early crash, overall it was a great experience. I had a lot of fun. Definitely be interested in coming back up here and spending a week up here and just riding my dirt bike, because there's a lot of stuff up here. But I think that's about all I got for this one, so thanks for watching, and until the next one, I'm out.